guys, it's Tina and I am back and I am here with another haul video, and this time I'm gonna feature all indie brands. So these are brands that are available for purchase online only. You can find them on Instagram, YouTube, and they kind of make their rounds on social media, and they're brands that you kind of have to buy blindly because you are buying them online, and some of them don't have a really good return policy, so you can't return them once you've used them. So if you've used them and you're like, oh my god, they don't work for me, I hate them, you kind of take that leap of faith because you can't return them and you can't exactly test them out in store. So I wanted to show those brands and I want to do reviews for the ones that you guys want to see. I know you're probably going to tell me review all of them, but we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we could do. We'll see what you can do. And before anybody asks, I took my rings off because I want to do some swatches and I don't want to get them messy. So that's why the rings aren't on. Don't start no scandal and rumor about all me and my husband and my shop. Because you know how YouTube stare at them. Love the mix up, I say. Them love mix up on Blender. But don't worry, we're all good. The first thing I wanted to show are palettes that I actually picked up and showed in my palette collection video, and I'll link that below. I showed them in my palette collection video because I had recently picked them up and I just wanted to show them to you quickly. And those are the palettes from Juvia's place. Now there's a little bit of controversy surrounding this brand and their customer service. Apparently they're very unresponsive and they are even rude in their responses, and there are people that receive broken eyeshadows, palettes that are damaged, and they can't get a response or get a refund or get a replacement, and the customer service is very slow in responding to those kind of queries. And then they're also rude in their responses. Sometimes they kind of push responsibility off on the shipping company and don't take ownership, and they won't replace your products. You have to go to credit card companies to file your complaints. So approach with caution. I never like hearing about that because to me, for a company, your customer service is your company. Like if your customer service sucks, if you suck as a brand owner, then I'm not supporting you. And the biggest reason I purchased from this brand and I'm supporting this brand is because they're black owned, and I do like to support my black owned companies, and they're up and coming brand that are getting more popular now. They're hitting larger YouTubers such as Nikki Tutorials and Jaclyn Hill that have been raving about them. So they're getting more popular and they're almost getting too big for their britches. So take that with a grain of salt. I still wanted to support because it's a black owned brand, and I do have my biases and prejudices that way because quite frankly we get so much of a fight regularly that I like to support my own people. But it's still never a good look to have very poor customer service. And there's another issue with this brand and a YouTuber that has a pretty sizable following, but she is not as big as Jaclyn Hill or Nikki Tutorials. And it was made public. There were things that were going back and forth between them with PR and sponsorships, and it just got very nasty, and I think it was just dealt with in a very tactless way, and there was a sense of entitlement in the air, and I didn't like the approach of that YouTuber. So the whole thing doesn't bother me with that YouTuber. It's really the customer service that I'm iffy about. But anyway, we can get into the review and swatches of these palettes at a later time. Let me know what you guys want me to do, if you want me to speak more on the issue. But the palettes are nice palettes. Now I will say they're similar to like a BH Cosmetics or a Morphe brand, where they're private labeled brands. They're made in China, but these colors are more geared towards women of color, where they have a richer pigmentation. They have a more intense color payoff so they can show up on darker skin. And there are currently 3 palettes from this brand. This is the Nubian palette, which has a bunch of warm neutral shades. I think that this is a very nice palette. This initial palette is actually very good. These shades probably won't show up on me because they are neutral shades, but those are blend-in shades for me in my crease. They probably won't show up. But like the shimmer shade is really beautiful right there. Let's swatch a couple more. Here are a couple more of the shimmer shades. And this is kind of their starter palette. So it was their original palette. These are smaller eyeshadow pans and they don't have names in this palette. And I think the palette was well done. The shade selection was also very well done. So if you're into really warm shades, this might be a palette to check out for you. It's $23 now on sale, and you can use discount codes that are all over the place now, and you can get additional money. Also, check Instagram, check YouTube. You'll find an affiliate code somewhere along the way. Then they have their Nubian II palette, which they released second. And this one has also a neutral shades and then colorful shades as well. So you have a blue, a green, a brighter yellow, and even an orange. Now the Nubian II palette is also very beautiful, and these pops of color are really well done. They're highly pigmented. Again, great for women of color where you need more color payoff and intensity. And the shades are, again, a couple of neutral shades and a couple of brighter tone shades, and you have some mattes in here as well. And these mattes are a little bit chalkier than the others in the Nubian palette, but they do have decent pigmentation and they apply pretty well on the eyes. And I think that palette is also a good buy. You have really big eyeshadow pans, you get a lot of product, and you have names with the colors. That one's a little bit more expensive and a little larger than the Nubian one, but it still has 12 eyeshadows. And then you have the big mama. This is the Masquerade palette, which is limited edition. This one has 2 rows of neutral, very warm neutrals, and then bold pops of colors. And I think this one is the one that has everybody going crazy because it is a very beautiful palette. Now I am wearing a couple of these shades on my eyes. I use this palette along with the Nubian palette to create this eye look, and there is a tutorial. But that's the blue, that's the purple, and that's another blue, and then this is a coppery orange. I mean, they're really intense, really beautiful shades. Now, all in all, I think the brand did pretty well in their color selection and the formula selection that they did. It's a company that's using private labeled formulas, so it's not like it's a unique formula to the brand. It could be tweaked to be unique to the brand, but it's not this really innovative formula that no one else has. It has talc and mica and mineral oil, so if you're not into mineral oil, don't even look at these. But they're very smooth, again, very pigmented, very buttery eyeshadows. They remind me of the Morphe eyeshadows, the ones that are really good. So the Morphe eyeshadow palettes, they're not terrible palettes, but it's like half and half. Half the palette will be great, and then half will be like whatever. So the really good eyeshadows in the Morphe palettes, I feel like these take those and step them up a notch. So it's similar, it's creamy, it's not like Makeup Forever, which that is a dimethicone rich formula. It's not like that. It's similar actually to the Kat Von D formula. I think they're really nice and they're really creamy. They don't crease on me, and the color payoff is there. It is intense, it is beautiful, and they're a cheaper price too. So they're worth checking out. I definitely think they're worth checking out, and they're larger eyeshadows than Morphe. Like the Morphe eyeshadow pans, like I have this thing about small eyeshadow pans. It gets to me. I can barely use them. I don't want to use them. My brush gets all over the place. It gets messy. It's just a thing. It's a thing. I'm working on myself. I'm working on my life. But that's that for that brand. Now let's go ahead and jump into Sugarpill. I grabbed 2 of the Sugarpill Pro palettes. Now these are empty palettes. Calm down. I didn't pick like 2 palettes, but this is an empty palette, and this is a palette that I have some of their eyeshadows in. So there are 6 eyeshadows in this, but I have 3 of their 4 pan palettes, and I'm gonna depot them and put them in these palettes, which I really like. They're beautiful. Sugarpill always has really nice artwork for their products, and I'm gonna place my eyeshadows in these palettes. But Sugarpill is another indie brand that I don't hear too many people talk about. They really do have beautiful shades, and they have more wearable shades now. When they started out, they had like the intense yellow and orange that I really liked, and these shades are, you know, more subtle, more wearable shades now. And I just think they've always done eyeshadows well, especially their bright shades. Like those were my first ever bright eyeshadows, like their yellow and their orange and their red. Those were my first intense colors. until Makeup Forever came and stole my heart. Thank you, Makeup Forever. But they still have a really good formula, and they have a decent price point for the amount of product you're getting. And again, it's a good formula. It's not some run-of-the-mill private label formula. It's more of a unique formula, and they do have really good products. So I think they need to get more props. Shrinkle has done a really good job with the brand, and you should definitely check them out. They do have some good stuff. So let me know if you want me to do a swatch video. I don't know how my eyeshadows will fare now because they're years old by now, and I don't know how the formula is going to measure up being years later, but that will be a good test, right? Now, another brand that I checked out that I had never heard about before, and I was watching this new girl that I've been interested in. I've been watching her channel, and she was showing her collection, and she showed this brand that I never heard of. It's Belfiore, and she was like, oh, I have my Belfiore palettes here, and I really love the eyeshadows, and I'm like, who? And I went ahead and did some Googlage, because you know that's what you need to do, and everybody that has mentioned this brand was saying that they had really good eyeshadows, and I saw swatches, and then I watched this other video that showed full swatches of all the eyeshadows, and she was like, oh, there's a sale going on, and it's 50% off, and I'm like, 50% off? On it! Say no more, I am here for it. So I went ahead and I grabbed 2 of their palettes. Now these are single eyeshadows, and you do get a free palette if you buy 10 of the shades. So I went ahead and got 20, so I have 2 palettes, and it is included in your purchase. So you just add 10 eyeshadows and you get it. And these are, again, another beautiful formula. They are very buttery mattes, very creamy shimmers, and I was very impressed. And I want to do a swatch video for you guys because it made no sense to me how no one's talking about this. But then I said, wait a minute, PR is a hell of a thing, because if you aren't promoted on the large YouTube channels, you don't get any play. And I think these palettes are worth checking out. So these are the neutral shades I picked out, and here are a couple of swatches. That's the red shade, that's the orangey brown, that's like a bronzy shade, and then that's a golden shade. Do you see the pigmentation on those? Like, that's a red. That's a red! And look at it. And then this is this orangey shade, and look at that. And as you blend them out, like, the pigmentation isn't lost at all. Look at this. Look. And these are $9 each. So with the 50% off sale, I got them for $4.50, which is quite a good deal for me. I am okay with spending that on an indie brand. And the $9 was kind of pushing it, but I was glad to get them at 50% off, because imagine if they sucked, I would have been so mad. And these shades are deeper, more smoky shades, and they have some neutrals as well. And here you have a couple of swatches. Aren't these, look at this. Look at this. Look at this shade. Like, isn't that a beautiful neutral color? That's a beautiful smoky shade. This is a, look. Just look at this pigment. Look, somebody come look at this. Look at this. Look. This just amazes me. And they're really creamy and really blendable. I was just so impressed with this brand, and I want to show you how they came packaged. Like, it was so beautifully done. They came in this elegant, sophisticated box. I was so amazed. I was like, oh my god, what am I getting? A high-end package? Because that's what it looks like. It looks like high-end packaging. It was really put together well. It was packaged well. It was just so beautifully done, and I'm very happy to support that brand. So I want to do a swatch and review video for you guys, because I feel like that's a brand that we need to talk about, which is why I like discovering indie brands and other products, you know, that aren't necessarily available to the wide market. So it's not in Sephora and Ulta, but you can definitely still check them out, and they definitely have great products out there at a reasonable price at that. Another indie brand that I discovered on Instagram is Hot Makeup Professional. They have single eyeshadows. This is an Inglot palette if you're interested, but I picked up a few of their eyeshadows. These are called their luminous eyeshadows, and I was so intrigued by these. These are, again, a little bit pricey, but you can use a discount code and get 20% off from the creative director. I forget his name, but it's, I'll link it below. And you get a discount off his eyeshadows. And these are so beautiful, as you can see here. And again, you have some really, like, look at the creaminess of these eyeshadows. And I know I'm swatching them with my fingers and you're like, that's not the same with a brush, but these actually apply really well with a brush as well because they are a more creamy, moist formula. It's almost like a cream to powder formula. Can you stand these shades? He has other swatches too on his channel that you can check out, but these shades are so gorgeous. Another brand that I would love to do a swatch video for. And you guys are probably like, tell us the shade names. Okay, the Belfiore palettes, I can't even go into the shades right now because I have to pop them out the palette. But for the hot makeup one, I can tell you really quickly. The bright gold one here is Rebecca. This blue one here is Glory Bound. This kind of gunmetal purple looking one right here, that one is About September. And then these two neutral shades, so the silvery one right in the middle is Stop Here, and then the more golden looking one is Catherine. Where this one? It's not really golden, it's more like a silvery hue. That's Catherine. But so beautiful, guys. Tell me those aren't gorgeous. And then I had to go ahead and support my boo Rocky Cozzette. He does the Cozzette brush line and he's now doing eyeshadows, and I had to go ahead and support my guy. I met him at the makeup show in New York years and years ago. He did my makeup on stage for one of his performances, and I've loved him ever since, and every year I meet up with him and I love him, and he did eyeshadows and I had to support him. These are such beautiful eyeshadows, guys. This is another one that I need to do a swatch video for. Now these are mostly shimmer, frosty, and crystal shades because his mattes are a little bit limited and they're in production right now. So he's gonna come out with mattes. They're just taking a little bit longer. I'm trying to get swatches. But I purchased all the eyeshadows, and these again are beautiful creamy shades, and these are paraben free and cruelty free. He's all about being cruelty free, and he's such a beautiful spirit. He has great pictures of these eyeshadows on his Instagram, so look for Cozzette. That's how he has it because his name is Cozzette, and he's like, nobody's gonna want to pronounce that, so he just named it Cozzette. But he has beautiful pictures that are true to life pictures. And these are the colorful shades that I have. Now this purple shade, if you don't have number 92 from Makeup Forever and you're looking for a beautiful purple, then this purple here is Vision and you should get this. This one, without a doubt, get that one. That one is such a beautiful purple. Like, you don't understand. Look at that purple, and it applies just as intensely and it blends out beautifully. It's such a well done purple. And this is another brand that I need to do a swatch video for because again, they don't send out PR products to large YouTubers, so they're not gonna get a lot of airplay, but I think they need to be celebrated because they have such beautiful products. And then I also got, these are, no, that's not them, the Colored Raine eyeshadows, which I did a review for already. Beautiful shades again, but I'll just show them right here so you can check them out. I'll link the video below, but these eyeshadows from Colored Raine, also very beautiful. And I picked up a couple of the palettes because they're really great Z palette alternatives to pack my eyeshadows in, and they're cheaper than Z palettes, so hello! Now let's go ahead and jump into some highlight products. I picked up the Kathleen Lights highlighter palette from Makeup Geek. Now, I wasn't gonna get this, right? But I have an affiliate code with Makeup Geek. I'm not affiliated with them. I don't get PR products like you've seen my videos on Makeup Geek. There's no way I'm gonna get PR products from them, right? But I've done swatch videos and I keep it totally honest with you guys. That's what I do. And Marlena had reached out to me and said, hey, how about you join our affiliate program so you can still use the link and get a commission off of purchases if people buy from your videos, you know, from your link in your videos with your swatches. Because if they're buying because of you, why not get a commission? And it's a small commission. It doesn't change the price of the product. And my commission amounted to the price of the palette. I've been stacking it, and that's what I got. So I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and get the palette because I know people have been asking about this, and I've heard that this is suitable for dark skin and women of color because a lot of people have been complaining, paler skin people have been complaining that they're too dark for them. So I'm like, oh, if they're too dark for you, come baby, come on to me, come, because it's time that we got someone in our court. And I think these will work on lighter skin, medium skin, and dark skin. I don't think it's just for dark skin. Like, the sheen they're not that intensely pigmented where you can't use them on light skin. I don't think they're gonna overwhelm you at all. This shade is Nightlight, this is Starlight, and then this is Sunlight. And the shades, oh, that purple stain. But see the shades? They're light. They're not as intense as you would think. So they blend out on the skin to give you a sheen. And it may not be a Becca highlighter, but it's a beautiful highlighter on your skin. And let's face it, not everybody wants to shine bright like a diamond and have the Martians using us as their freaking beacon on Earth. So for those of you who are into more subtle highlighters, go ahead and check this out. I don't think it's a bad palette. I think it's really well done, and there are 3 shades here. And the formula is beautiful. And I actually was able to test out this formula about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago. I tested out the formula. Marlena had actually sent me at that point to try out the formula and let her know what I thought. This was after I did the foiled eyeshadows. She was like, oh, you seem to be really good at reviewing products and telling us what's up with them, so go ahead and test this out. And I did actually like the formula, and so I knew the formula was going to be good, so I wasn't really hesitant about picking this up because I knew the formula was going to be good. I didn't really get any more products to test out after that, but you win some, you lose some, right? And I like the palette so far, and I'm gonna try it out some more, and then I'll do a review if you guys want me to, but so far I think it's worth checking out. And then apparently, because I love highlighters, even though I don't wear them that often, I still want to get all the pretty things. I grabbed this one from Ofra. This is Rodeo Drive, and it's a beautiful champagne shade. And Ofra has been doing really good with highlights. Their highlighters are kind of a baked formula, like a mineralized baked formula, and they're really smooth, really pigmented, really gorgeous on the skin, and they blend out nicely, and they're not full of glitter, which I absolutely hate. I picked up their previous shade, was it Hollywood? It was something, and it was so gorgeous that I decided to get this one as well. Again, this is Rodeo Drive, and it's a yellow champagne. That's the intensity you can get. Or you can just blend it out into like a wet highlight. Again, be very light-handed with this on darker skin. But oh my god, so gorgeous. Now I went ahead and picked up some more liquid lipsticks from my favorite brand. Again, Colored Raine. One of my favorite liquid lipsticks, hands down. And they debuted some new colors. So there's some brand new colors in the lineup. I am actually wearing one of them now. I am wearing the shade Kiss Me, which is a deep purple. Now it applies streaky. This formula is a little bit more liquidy than I was used to, and it's a little bit, it's not patchy, but it's sheerer than I would like, so I didn't get full opacity from it. I did have to layer it, and it is cracking a bit, but it's holding in place. It's not flaking, but I'm not thoroughly impressed with this shade specifically. And I think that this, because it's a darker shade, it's not really, you know, ruffling my feathers too nicely. What? Ruffling your feathers? It's not doing it to me. It's not doing it. It's doing it. But I got some of the shades. I find that they tend to be very pigmented in one swipe. I like the consistency of the product. I like the viscosity of it. It's not too thick. It's not too runny. I do like it. So I'm going to test out the shades. I did have one previously, the Cherry Blossom, which is a beautiful red. I think it's one of my favorite reds, but it flakes, and I was so mad because I was so happy with the color. So I'm gonna try out some more of these before I make a review or do a swatch video, because I want to test out the shades and see how they wear before I go, okay, get them. But the previous ones that I have are really nice. Again, this is Rain Fever. It looks a little bit sheer, and so I don't know what to think. This one here is Red Sea. So I am interested in testing these out and letting you guys know what I think. I also picked up two of the metallic shades. So they have Fame and Rockstar. If anyone was going to get me to wear a metallic lip, it would be Colored Raine. So here are the colors. I think Red Sea is going to be beautiful. This is Rain Fever, which is a little bit sheer. That brown one, where is it? That little caramelly brown is whatever. Then this one is the Kiss Me I'm wearing on my lips. And then here are the two shimmery shades, which are Fame, like I said, and Rockstar. Now I won't jump ahead and recommend those right away because I feel like I need to test those out specifically because something seems different about the formula, but I'll try those out and let you guys know. And then I also went ahead and picked up 2 more Dose of Colors liquid lipsticks. This one is Pinky Promise. I saw Luster Luxe Hair Katie on YouTube and I saw her wearing this in one of her videos and I was like, shut everything up. I need that color. And it was out of stock for the longest and it finally got restocked and I picked it up and I'm not impressed. Like, it's very sheer again and I have to build it up and it's still not giving me the opacity that I need, but it's a beautiful pink color. And I got Chocolate Wasted, which is this chocolatey brown one. And this one has great color payoff, great pigmentation in one swipe. So I know that one is beautiful, but the Pinky Promise, I tried it. Like, I was like, let's do this pink lip. No, it never won't occur, but I am gonna test this out. Stephanie Nicole here on YouTube, which I know a lot of you know, and a lot of people love her reviews because she's kind of upfront and blunt, very blunt and in your face about it. She says Dose of Colors has one of her favorite liquid lipstick formulas, so I said, oh, if you say so, that means I'm gonna need for try it. And so far they're not my top liquid lipstick formula, even though it's one of her top ones. So again, people have different tastes and different things they look for in a liquid lipstick, and depending on the shade you try, you might be blown away by it or you might be highly disappointed. So I'm gonna try those out and then give you a roundup on my favorite liquid lipsticks. I also went ahead and picked up some brushes from Smith Cosmetics. Now they were having a sale. That's not really a sale, it was just free international shipping, which is kind of a turnoff for international companies. You really don't want to pay that shipping price, and they were having free express shipping. So I was like, hello, I wanted to try out a few of their brushes. Samantha from Battle Lash. Samantha, you know Samantha. She is so beautiful and she uses their brushes religiously, and I did pick up a few of them from before and I wanted to try out some more of their eye brushes. I picked up really mainly face brushes the last time I tried them out, but I picked up some face brushes. So they have different blending brushes, different liner brushes, and they have very specific shapes, and I wanted to try these out and test them out for you guys, tell you how I felt. And I'm a brush junkie, so you know I am all about these brushes. So I'm gonna try these out and let you know, probably do a review and see if these are brushes that you want to check out for yourself. And then I thought I would round out the haul with a couple of nail polishes, which I haven't really hauled in a long time. I did pick up quite a few this time around. I picked these up from Live Love Polish because they were having a sale and I wanted to try out these specific ones for the longest. These are from the brand Starly. So Live Love Polish has different brands on their website, and this is one of the brands that they carry, and I wanted to test out this kind of circular sprinkle type nail polish from them for the longest, and I finally just went ahead and bit the bullet. So this guy here is Gumballs. Isn't it pretty? I think that's gonna be so pretty on my nails. And then this little beautiful holographic one is the Unicorns Are Coming, which I thought was gorgeous. I can't wait to try that over a black polish or just a dark polish. And then this one is Bippity Boppity Blue. Isn't that cute? This one has stars and circles, and it's yellow and like a light sky blue and a very pale baby pink and even a lavender. So I can't wait to test this out. And that, my friends, is gonna finish up my haul of indie brands. Although I should mention that I also picked up a bunch of palettes from Zoeva. I have heard a lot about Zoeva products. Not too many people use them. They use their brushes, but they don't use their eyeshadows and their different makeup palettes. And they do have beautiful makeup from what I've seen. And they're an international brand, so not many people are gonna chase after them because they are a little bit pricey to ship, even though they are moderately priced for an indie brand. But they have various eyeshadow palettes. This one is the Cocoa Blend. I picked up a few, and the reason I'm not going to show them in this video is because when I say I picked up a few, I mean I picked up a few. Like a few. Do you see? I picked up about 10 of the palettes. I'm not going to kid you right now because a whole heap of palette, pick up a whole heap, and it would just be too much to do in this haul video. So I'm not gonna do it, but I do want to do a follow-up video where I do just a haul on these and do quick swatches for you guys. This is the Rodeo Belle palette, so you have an idea. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna do that separately because like I said, it's gonna take up the entire video. So that's gonna finish it up for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching and enjoying these indie brands with me. There are definite brands here that I think you should check out and that are worth taking the leap of faith and buying them blindly almost. Hopefully this video helped to make the purchase not so blind, but there are some good products here to try out that I do recommend. Some of them I need to test out some more, and like I said, there are going to be videos coming up with swatches and reviews for all of, well, most of them. When I get to, listen, a whole heap of things are going on. I'm at school and things, so I don't know how the video schedule is gonna be, but I'm gonna try my best to get videos out for you guys and do swatches as best as I can. If I don't post swatches and reviews here on my channel, check out my Instagram. I'll post swatches and pictures there so you can check them out and then just do a quick review for you. Definitely follow me on Instagram. I'll leave the link below as well as links to my Twitter and Facebook. I really should do more on Facebook. I've been neglecting Facebook, but Twitter and Instagram I'm definitely on, so check me out there. And as usual, I'll try to link as many of the products here that I mentioned in this video, so check below in the description box. I always have things in it. I have things listed on there like, wow. And there are other haul videos coming up, so stay tuned for that as well. And until my next video, which will be very soon, girls, I'll talk to you. Bye.